La Resortera.
Hello and welcome to one more week of Pura Vida Perspectives. Sara, how are you?
I'm doing good. We are here. We're ready to go.
Today, it's going to be a fun episode. We're going to talk about our perspective of our favorite places to visit in Costa Rica.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun episode.
Yes, because it's almost that time of the year where people go out to relax, vacationing, nice weather. Where should people go that you have visited so they can enjoy the country?
Oh, it's okay, first of all, I can't make decisions, so I'm really bad with that. It would really depend on what the person wants to do because Costa Rica is a small country, but there's such a variety. There's such a variety of climates and vibes, and you can be more busy and more touristy, or you could be laid back and on the beach, or you could be up in the mountains and with a sweater on. There's just so much. I don't know.
The other day, I was talking to a co-fellow worker. She was celebrating 11 years of renting cars in Mexico. So a big shout out to her. And I told her, you got to come down to Costa Rica. And she asked me this question and said, Jairo, what is the best time of the year to visit Costa Rica? When would you recommend me to visit Costa Rica? My answer was, anytime. Anytime you want to come is a nice time.
Not Semana Santa. Not Semana Santa. We talked about that
not Semana Santa or not New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But any other time, it's fun. It's nice to be in Costa Rica because of what you just said. So many places to visit, depending on what you want to do, depending on the amount of time that you have to visit Costa Rica. The other day, I was at a resort, and I was speaking to these newlyweds from Canada. And I say, how long are you going to be in Costa Rica? This was on a Wednesday. And they say, we'll be here until Monday. And I say, okay, here in the country or here in the resort? And they'll be like, no, here in the resort. We have a couple excursions. I was like, I didn't tell them anything. I told my wife, wow, they're losing so much time being at the resort in Costa Rica. Because you have so many nice and beautiful things to do beside from the resort.
Totally. Me personally, when I go take a vacation, I'm not I'm imagine I want to go sit in a chair and read a book. I will sit there for about 5 minutes and be like, all right, time to go do something. Yeah, exactly. I'm a very active, jam-packed itinerary type of person. But
let me ask you, because I have a bunch of places that I can recommend. But Sara wanna grab Ksenia and your fiance in a trip to escape and have fun. Where do you go?
Okay, so if I wanted to do a lot of actionable things that would be diverse, I would go to the southern zone. So it'd be the South Pacific. I would go towards Dominical, Uvita, because you have national parks. I used to live down there too, so I'm biased. But I was just down there this past Saturday. We went to the Reptilandia. We went to the reptile park.
Okay,
I'd never been there. So I like it there because you have the beaches, all different types of beaches. National park, you have the whale's tail, you have waterfalls, you have jungle, you have mountains. I mean, there's literally everything.
Did you see what happened last week in Playa Blanca in before Jaco?
No. Oh, no.
The hotel, what's it? Punta Leona.
Punta Leona, what happened?
A whale.
A whale.
In Punta Leona.
Wow. Okay, that's a quick little half day trip that we do a lot because it's not far.
Yeah.
There's a whale.
People were baiting outside the beach in Punta Leona, and not far from there were baiting. Boom, a whale.
Wow.
And now it's a whale season in Uvita.
Yes. Yep.
In Bahia Ballena.
That's a great time to go out. Even if you get further into the South Pacific, going down to Drake's Bay, in the Osa Peninsula, if you really like nature, like to get disconnected. But I would say for me, you can do everything there. Like I said, you got the waterfalls, you can do ATV, you can do all the, you can be in a little house tucked into the rainforest. And for me, that's my ideal. But I also really like Playa Conchal up in Guanacaste.
Well, do you know that now in Playa Conchal, you have to walk all the way
Oh, yeah.
From
You park from the one and you got to walk.
you park in Brasilito and you have to walk all the way to Conchal.
I think we always park to the very left. Like if you're looking at the ocean, we park to all the way to the left where there's nothing. Maybe like a little restaurant. And then we'd walk all the way to Conchal from there.
Okay, but now and I'm saying this because of if people see us that used to come to Costa Rica before, and this happened about 4 or 5 years, they closed the entrance to Conchal.
Oh, yeah.
Before you can literally drive in front of Conchal.
Oh, yeah. No, you have to walk.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite beach, and I think I mentioned this before a lot to you and in the podcast, Playa Penca.
Oh, yes, you have up in Potrero.
Potrero. Yeah, Playa Penca. Before Las Catalinas.
Yep. And I went there just because you told me to.
To Las Catalinas?
No. I went up to Guanacaste once and I was like, well, got to go to check out Playa Penca.
Do you like it?
It was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I felt Playa Potrero had kind of more of the brown sand. And then you're right. Just 2 minutes right around the corner.
Yep.
White sand. No one there.
Exactly. I love it. Just thinking of it, man, makes me relax.
Yeah.
I love Playa Penca. That's my favorite spot. Now, if you go on the other side of the country, Puerto Viejo.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife's going to kill me for sharing this. In Puerto Viejo, there's a place called Refugio Jaguar.
The Jaguar Refuge. Yep.
Right in front of it, but I mean like right in front of the entrance of the Jaguar Refugio, there's a small entrance, like for a car, like this tiny. You bring your car there, you park it whenever you can, and you walk like 100 meters, and you'll see this beach that is like a pool. No waves, like that, like the size of the water, it's always the same. So you can actually bring your chair, pull it in the water, chill out, have your beer, have your drink under a palm.
Wow.
And enjoy. That's Punta Uva, I believe.
Okay.
Oh my God. It's so Playa Cocles. That's Playa Cocles before Punta Uva. Oh my God. One of our favorite spots. Then you got Manzanillo. Then you got Puerto Viejo. Puerto Viejo, before the sunset, there is no sunset in that area.
Yeah. It's in the Caribbean.
Yeah. But when the sun is coming down, they like, there's a bunch of Argentinians. So the Argentinians will come out and start break dance and they start like playing with fire and doing all these things. It's beautiful. Puerto Viejo is a beautiful area to be at.
That's so cool. So I've been in Puerto Viejo years and years ago on my way to Bocas del Toro, which I know isn't Costa Rica.
It's in Panama.
But it's right in Panama on the Caribbean side.
Yep.
Islands, so amazing. Haven't been there forever.
We should do a trip together.
Would love to go there.
With my wife and you and your fiance.
We do it.
2-3 days in Puerto Viejo.
That'd be amazing, yeah.
You guys will have a lot of fun with us.
Well, I'm down.
We should do that. What else we got? We got the volcanoes.
I have La Fortuna on my list.
Yes.
I do love La Fortuna. Our retreats now are up in La Fortuna. Now I'm like, every 6 months or, 5 to 6 months, I can go up to La Fortuna.
Hot springs.
I realize the volcano is the equivalent of our, my obsession or whatever, us coastal people, our obsession of going to watch the sunset. There, I'm like, I could just watch this volcano. Like, what's that cloud doing? Oh, look at the volcano. It's just
I love that volcano. I love it.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous from everywhere you've seen it. And I told you this before, I love sunsets.
Yeah.
I really adore sunsets. But being out there with the volcano, it was so peaceful. It's amazing.
You can get some really good sunsets over the volcano. I mean, I saw a beautiful sunset over the volcano. Yeah. It's gorgeous.
Well, good things about being in La Fortuna or near volcanoes, you got hot springs.
Hot springs.
You can do ATV around the volcano. Mm-hmm. You can do water rafting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You can do canopy in that zip line.
Yes.
Or you can go to mountains in Monteverde.
Yeah, Monteverde. Or you got Lake Arenal over there though by La Fortuna too. You got the lake.
Lake Arenal, you got the lake, and you're like you can do paddleboarding, and just watch the volcano. Or do jet skiing and watch the volcano.
I saw a cool activity over there that you're like on a bike, but on like something floating in the thing, and I was like, that looks really cool.
Yes.
But yeah, beautiful. La Fortuna is gorgeous.
What other places have you visited that you say, wow?
Okay, so Osa Peninsula, like Drake Bay, beautiful. Like I hope they never ruin that. Or hopefully just don't ruin anything in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Stop. Drake Bay outside of Perez de Leron's really nice. You know, the mountains. There's something so special and magical about the mountains in Costa Rica too. The climate and just the.
The other day, I had to take a customer to San Vito de Cotobruz.
Oh yeah, San Vito's real far down there.
Oh my God, I've never been there before.
I have some people who moved there.
Wow, so peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like up in the mountains, like you're really close to the sky.
Yeah, it's down by almost to the Panama border. So for some of you that don't know, it's pretty far down there. It's definitely for people that want to be out of the way.
It's far, but peaceful.
Very peaceful.
So peaceful.
Yeah. So I've been up through Guanacaste. I've been to Samara. I've been through the Nicoya Peninsula, Santa Teresa.
You know, actually, my wife, she never been to Nosara.
I've never been to Nosara. So I've been to Samara. I've been
That's
to the
another
Nicoya
place we have to take a
Peninsula.
trip to then.
I've been through Punta Arenas. I've been to all through that whole peninsula. I've obviously been through the Central Pacific, the South Pacific, all the way down to Panama, down to Pavones even. Been over to Perez de Leron. Driven through Cartago, but
Guapiles?
Just driven through it. So I would like to do. Actually, I was just talking with some friends. I was like, should do a week.
You never done Tortuguero?
No, but I was
In
saying that
Guapiles.
we should do a trip to Cartago. Just to go rent a place with a little fireplace, a hot tub.
I have a place.
Like a nice.
I know a friend that has a place.
Like a nice cabin. Like
We can play Uno.
Exactly. Play Uno. Bring our sweatshirts, our sweatpants, our fuzzy socks. Because sometimes living on the beach, I get a little tired. Like today, waking up in San Jose was like, what a nice climate. It was raining. Put my jacket on. I'm like, this is wonderful. So we can just drive and take a weekend trip anytime us coastal people really need that, which I like.
Well, the good thing in Costa Rica is that you can be in the city and then you can next day be in the beach 2 hours from now.
Exactly.
Or you can be in the mountains 2 hours from now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's where I live, it's a small town. Most anywhere outside of the city is going to be a small town. And what's nice is if you feel like you're getting cabin fever, you got to get out. There's so many places you can go. And even now, one of my dreams of even moving to Costa Rica was going to be able to travel more. Mm-hmm. Now I have time. I have more money. I have the ability to do it. So, we've gone to Colombia once. We're going to go to Guatemala. In 2 weeks, we'll be in Guatemala. We're going to go to El Salvador, and then we're going to be doing probably Colombia again, but somewhere else. And it's like an hour flight, hour and a half here. It's excellent. So there's a lot of even Central America that I do want to explore. Yeah. And there's so much of Costa Rica that I still haven't seen that I want to see more of too.
Yes. Costa Rica, that's the good thing. It has a lot of variety in a lot of places to visit. So it all depends on what you want or what you want to visit. Rivers, bunch of rivers.
Oh yeah.
In San Carlos, bunch of rivers that you can actually get in and swim in the river, and that's clean water.
Yeah. For me, I'm coming a baby with cold water. So what I love about being up in La Fortuna is the hot springs. I can actually sit in a river that's warm. Yeah. I don't like cold water. I don't like being cold.
Yeah, I know you hate being cold.
I hate it. So for me, that's like a dream come true. Being near a hot spring that I can just be in the water and it's warm. Yeah. Dream come true.
Yeah. I think they closed it. There was this place in La Fortuna that I would really love to bring you, but I think they closed it. Was called El Chollín. El Chollín there was a bridge, and on the side of the bridge, you will walk down to the river, and it was water that comes straight from the volcano.
Yeah, I think it's still open. I just did that a few years ago. So it's on Google. It's mapped as the free hot springs, and there was parking along the road.
El Chollín.
Yeah, there's like parking along the road, and you got to go under the bridge. It was still open as of.
No, so I think they closed it not too long ago.
How can they close it? You just walk down into it.
Stupid. I don't know. But less than 6 months ago, I think they closed it.
Oh, I'm going to check it out.
When we go in November, we're going to ask Michael. He probably know. Or any local
There has to be some way to get into it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but there's a bunch of other places where you can get the hot spring.
Well, that's because they want you to pay for it. So no, that's the free area. They probably closed it because it's free.
Probably.
So
that sucks.
If it's closed, I say we petition to
There's
reopen it.
there's gotta be a workaround and have some other bridge down the road or somewhere.
Maybe the parking situation was dangerous, and maybe that's why they closed it. So I'm saying I can say that parking situation being right there on the road was probably a hazard.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. So I guess again, I shouldn't jump to conclusions.
Yeah, it could be. And then
so you like Playa Penca. That's your favorite. You like the Caribbean.
Yeah.
What else has like really taken your breath away?
Well, I've never been to Catarata de Naujaca.
Oh, really?
Naujaca waterfall.
Oh, I've been there.
I went there and I was like, all right, this is a cool place. Then I was in the States not long ago and I was speaking to my barber. He said he was coming to Costa Rica, to my barber in the US. And he was telling me he was coming to Costa Rica. He was telling me where he was going to be. And I grabbed my phone and I was like, look at the Naujaca waterfalls. And I was looking at the pictures and I was like, wow, this place is really gorgeous. And I was looking at my own pictures. So yeah, that's a place I would recommend.
Yes. I will get in the water there, even though it's cold. But sometimes
it's wonderful. I love that. I love that.
Beautiful.
Water. I love that water. Playa Penca. Again, I think we mentioned this in some other podcasts. Playa Tamarindo. It's very popular, and people will book a lot of Airbnbs in Playa Tamarindo, but it's so crowded. Mm-hmm. Playa Tamarindo is so crowded. If you're looking for peace, go to Playa Avellanas, Playa Penca, Playa Samara, Nosara, Carrillos. So many places, man, to visit Costa Rica. On the Caribbean side, you got Puerto Viejo, Manzanillo, Punta Uva, Playa Negra. You got waterfalls. You can cross and go over to Panama to Bocas del Toro. It's amazing, man.
I'm looking up how many beaches are in Costa Rica. Do you know?
Like 400 and something?
Yeah, because you got two coasts.
We didn't mention Malpaís. Malpaís, Santa Teresa.
I mentioned that. Well, I said I'd been there.
Malpaís, Santa Teresa.
I thought Santa Teresa was kind of loud.
Monteverde.
I would have stayed in if I ever go back, I would stay in Malpaís, and they had that national park right there too. The Cabo Blanco. Beautiful, amazing. Okay, wow. Costa Rica has an estimated of 600 beaches surround the entire national territory. No one yell at me for this fact, like I got yelled at for about the microclimates online. This is Google. Google is saying Costa Rica, it's estimated 600 beaches.
Again, we're not professionals. We're just sharing our perspective here. Sarah, this has been fun. I think this is a topic a lot of people can relate to. Thank you for coming out of your Jaco place to a rainy place.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And remember, if there's any businesses that want to shout out on here, feel free to reach us on Instagram. We will be, accepting some sponsors on there.
Yep.
And we appreciate you guys for watching the podcast, for, writing us, for providing your feedback. If there's any topic that you would love for us to get into, we want to talk about what you want to hear.
Yep.
Hear what you want to hear about. Yep. So definitely don't be shy. Message us on Instagram. One of us will respond. You respond, or if I see it, I'll respond. So definitely reach out and chat with us. And
if you see us around, in Jaco, in Grecia, anywhere, or you're talking to us on WhatsApp, mention the podcast. We love to see how people interact with us.
Totally. All right. Well, thanks again. We'll see you next week.
Pura vida.
Esto fue una producción de La Resortera.